And I just want to take a quick minute, Chef Eddie, to talk about another dangerous myth that has arisen in India. So one of the new narratives in India at this point in time is about revivalism. So there's this whole newfound patriotic identity that a lot of Indian, people, want to live by. They don't believe that the foreign, quote unquote, the foreign cows, the insemination is the right thing to do, and their interpretation of it, and actually the industry interpretation of it, is once again profiting them, because they're going to hold the ear either this way or the other way, right? So they're starting to say that the artificial cows, the artificially inseminated breeds of cows, are foreign cows and therefore they're bad for health. But the Bos indicus cow and the cow milk derived from that cow is actually good for your health. And interestingly, this actually came out of a a study that evidenced natural genetic polymorphism in cows. It happens in all species. There's genetic mutation that tends to happen, and it turns out that naturally, the Indian cows, which are the Bos indicus cows, they don't have the A1 casein in them. They have the A2 casein in them, and that's now feeding this marketing myth that started with the A2 milk company. And I think that they were out of New Zealand. They started selective breeding. They even started calling it hypoallergenic milk for people who are, aren't able to process casein and they're allergic to casein. So they're looking at casein and they're saying A2, A1, the desi cows, which are the Indian indigenous cows, are better. Now, and then A2 ghee has benefits. Little realizing that ghee is ghee. It's oxidized cholesterol. It's 100% clarified butter. It's fat, and it probably has trace amounts of casein, or maybe none at all, and definitely doesn't have lactose. So it doesn't really matter whether you've gotten ghee from A2 or A1 or A5. It's all the same. It's toxic. It's cardiotoxic for you. Now, bovine dairy is not for humans. I already mentioned ghee is cardiotoxic. A2 meth is perpetuating selective breeding and creating designer cows. And A1 casein is as is, it's rare in Bos indicus. So it's actually become a premiumization business case. Dairy sector is heavily subsidized the world over. It's a loss-making sector, as we know, here in the US, and it's true for India as well. And it's a low margin making sector. So if you can diversify your portfolio and you could start, offering product lines that you can say, this is Ahimsa milk, stress-free milk, this is A2 milk, or this is Ahimsa ghee, this is Ayurvedic ghee, and so on. So it's revivalism. It's once again feeding on that myth of, the cult of Lord Krishna, the myth that Vedic people, traditionally had abundance of all of these things, which we've, surmised that they really didn't. And if they did, they weren't cooking with it. They were using it in the form of a pharmaceutical ingredient. So this is a very dangerous turn that, a part of the dairy sector in India seems to be taking at this point in time. It's not just in India, it's also attracted a lot of buyers from within the diaspora.